Hello, and welcome to What's the Tea? I'm your host, always at On the Man 316. Wow, so this is a new era for the show, man, because this is the first time I've ever been on YouTube. And I've been saving this for a very special occasion. And last Saturday, I went to the Royal Rumble in Indianapolis. And I gotta say, man, it was a really cool experience. Like, you see all the people, and they were just having fun, having a great time. And it was just really cool. And it's funny, the first time I ever heard Lucas Oil Stadium that loud was when the Indianapolis Colts played the Kansas City Chiefs in the AFC wildcard round in 2014. It was my very first playoff game, actually, and it was 38-10. The Chiefs were ahead. So my dad, my uncle, and my cousin, we decided to go down and watch the rest of the game in the concourse. So we find this Bud Light table. And well, things started to turn around as somehow, by some miracle, the Colts started to play better. They got back in the game, got it down to a score, and then something else insane just happened. Andrew Luck throws the ball deep down the field to a wide open T.Y. Hilton. I'm standing there in the concourse, and I just turn my head for a second to look at what everybody in the stands is doing. And I swear, man, I just felt that place shake. And that was just a really cool moment. I was like, wow, I have never felt anything like that. But then last Saturday, man, I gotta just say, it was cool. I mean, you know, I always wondered in my 15 years of going to that place. Well, when I became a wrestling fan, I always wondered what it'd be like if a big event like that ever came to Lucas Oil Stadium. Because I know they had Fastlane in Indianapolis a few years ago. I heard that was really good at the Pacers Arena. But to finally get to see that happen for that building was really cool. And it really meant a lot to me that my first WWE PLE would be inside Lucas Oil Stadium, a place that's really been a big part of my childhood and just overall me as a person, me as a football fan, and everything. Because I just love that place. I love that place because it's loud, there's good fans, and hey, regardless of how I feel about the Indianapolis Colts right now, I can still go to that place and have a good time. Anyways, so it was just packed in there, man. Like, I think I read over 70,000 people were there, and I was like, wow, this is crazy. Because, like I said, the last time I ever saw that was that playoff game against the Chiefs. I had never heard it so loud, and I had never seen it so packed, and it just really warmed my heart to see that because, I was kind of nervous about how it was going to go. As in, would people show up? Would people enjoy it? And would people just be good there? It's like we're walking around trying to find our seats, and you just see mobs and mobs of people. And it's just really cool. Eventually, we got to our seats. And it still didn't feel real to me that I was there for the first big wrestling event at Lucas Oil Stadium. Like I said, that was just really cool to get to experience that. So then we're taking pictures and I see the WrestleMania sign. So I turn to my dad and I say, "Hey Dad, can you get a picture of me pointing to the WrestleMania sign?" Because for so many years, I had watched many people point to that sign after winning the Royal Rumble match. And that was something that it just had to happen at some point, right? And I always wanted to do that. So, when I pointed to that sign, I was like, yeah, man, I'm actually here, and this is fucking awesome. And our seats were really cool. Like, we were in section 340, which was right at midfield where the ring was. And we had the perfect view of the ring and the perfect view of that jumbotron they had there, which honestly was great because I got a lot of great pictures from that Tron. But you could also see the entrance ramp from down there because I just pulled out my camera to test if there would be any chance I can actually get a picture from that far. And it looked amazing when I did it. I was like, holy cow, man, this is cool. Anyways, let's get right to it here with my Royal Rumble review. Okay. So we start off with the Women's Royal Rumble, which honestly, I thought this was really cool. Like, it was cool. You see Io and Liv start off the match. They have some really good chemistry, especially if you watch that Saturday night's main event match. They had a really good match there, and they did a good job of just kind of feeling out the crowd and getting everybody excited for what was going to happen in that match. Now, I'm not going to go over every single entrant because that's going to take a long time. Let's just kind of go over the match here. So we also had Jordan Grace as one of the entrants in the match, which I thought that was pretty cool. I mean, I know her contract with TNA is up, and now she's signed with WWE, so we're gonna see a lot of cool things from her in the coming future, and she's got a lot of dream matches, and I get that. We also saw Julia in this match and Stephanie Valkyrie, and they've been killing it all across the world and also in NXT. And I know people are excited for that possible title for title match that's going to take place at Stand and Deliver in Vegas, because that will be pretty cool to see. We also had a returning Alexa Bliss, and she probably got one of the loudest pops of the night, man. Like, I was not expecting to see Alexa, because you read that news about how her and WWE were kind of having some contract disputes and any booking plans, but it was just pretty crazy, to see her walk out there. It was great to see that. I'm happy for Alexa. Good to see her. Glad they had all that situated there. Also, Trish Stratus coming out at 25. And this was something that people were kind of wondering about on social media because she's celebrating, I think, her 25th anniversary in wrestling or something like that. Which, that kind of makes sense that she comes out at 25. She got a really nice pop, and that was cool to see as well. But now I'm going to say it. The thing that I came to Indianapolis for. The countdown clock is counting down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And I hear a very, very familiar theme. And I just get the biggest smile on my face, and I wooed till I couldn't anymore. As a returning Charlotte Flair made her way to the ring. And that was just really cool. But my first time getting to see her live is her returning and entering the Rumble match. But that was really special to me. And I get it. There are some people that aren't happy that she won the match. But you know what? It is what it is, man. And honestly, after everything she went through trying to get back and everything, she deserves it 100%. And it was just really cool getting to see that. You had a lot of really fun. Sorry. You had a lot of really fun spots in this match too. Like there were really no dull moments, and the crowd was up. They were hyped. They were chanting, and that was just cool to see as well. And in the end, it comes down to Charlotte Flair and Roxanne Perez. And Roxanne, she's fighting for her life on the top rope, trying to stay in the match. And then she somehow jumps back into the ring. Or wait, she somehow gets jumped out to the ring apron. And then Charlotte runs in with a big boot, and she wins the Rumble match. And you can really see how much that really meant to Charlotte, because she had that look of disbelief on her face. And then you could just see there were tears in her eyes, and you can see how much that really meant to her. Like I said, it was really cool getting to see that, and that'd be my first time that I saw Charlotte Flair. You know, like, I was really excited for that, and I'm really happy for her. Yeah, overall, this was a really good Women's Rumble match. You had the right mix of talent, you had the right mix of styles, and people look like they enjoyed themselves with this. So, you know, it was a really good match. So hats off to everybody that competed in that match. And yeah. Alright, our next match. DIY versus the Motor City Machine Guns. Man, I was excited when this got announced. Because I really have always been a big fan of Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa. Because they just have that great tag team chemistry that sometimes goes a little unnoticed, but in this match you could definitely see it a lot of times. And the Motor City Machine Guns. What more can I say except they're the tag team of 2025? Like when WWE signed these guys, I was like, oh hell yeah, this is gonna be sorry. This is gonna be awesome. And their second night in the company, they win the tag titles on SmackDown. Like that was really cool to see, you know? And I gotta admit, I was doing this when they said, raise your fist. Raise your fist. And you got the pyro going off for Motor City Machine Guns. You know, a lot of people don't like that theme song, but I kind of get it in some ways. But the entrance itself is just cool. Because it says, because you have like a little machine gun thing going on in the background on one of the screens when they're coming out. And then you get the raise your fist sequence and the pyro sequence. And it's just a really cool entrance. I like it. And Chris Sabin and Alex Shelley, they are just a great tag team. Highly recommend them. Like, if you've never seen a Motor City Machine Guns match, go watch one. Because they are literally one of the best tag teams in the world, and possibly ever. Because their chemistry is just incredible. They have a really cool finisher called Skull and Bones. As for the match itself, you know, from what I could hear from the crowd, people were enjoying it because I would hear chants of Motor City DIY, Motor City DIY. And that's the fun of it too, is you have the split crowds. They're like, oh boy, who do I really want to win this? Do I want DIY to retain, or do I want Motor City Machine Guns to win? Like, that's the fun of seeing it live. And these two just threw everything they had at each other in this 2 out of 3 falls match. Because you could see moments where both these teams are getting frustrated, because it's like, what more do I have to do to win this match? Like, seriously. You could really see the look of frustration on their faces at times. But in the end, DIY wins the match with a very odd interference by the Street Profits as they distract the Motor City Machine Guns by attacking them, essentially, and giving DIY an open lane to win the match. But yeah, I just thought this was a good match. The ending was very odd in a lot of ways, because it just felt random. Like, I get it. The Street Profits, they want to be tag champs again. They've got a little bit of beef with MCMG. They've got beef with DIY because they want the tag titles. I get that. But again, this just felt really random and out of place. You know? And And I would have been perfectly fine if they didn't do this. But either way, it is what it is. Congrats to DIY on retaining. And what a match. So our third match of the night. Kevin Owens versus Cody Rhodes in a ladder match for the WWE Undisputed Championship. Man, I mean, this story has been great. Like, remember the first Saturday Night's main event where Kevin and Cody went at it and Cody brought out the Winged Eagle Championship and it pissed Kevin off for some reason. And Kevin just went ham in that match, eventually stealing the belt, eventually taking the belt hostage and claiming he is the WWE Champion. This is great heel work on his part. Like, Kevin Owens as a heel is just fantastic. Whether it's his NXT work, I've heard a lot about his Ring of Honor work. The guy is just incredible. And this match being no exception. Like, the way he made his entrance when he had that shirt on that said, "Son of a Canadian technician." You know, it's kind of a dig at Dusty Rhodes, which, again, Kevin being a heel, he's gonna do this stuff. And he's just great at it, you know? Really, really great at it. And then Cody Rhodes makes his entrance. You know, it's really cool when you get to be a part of the whoa, and you see the pyro going off. You see everybody doing it, and it's just really cool. Like, his entrance has got to be one of the best ever. Strictly for the crowd participation and also for just the way it all goes down. Like, it's a really cool sequence there. So we get to the start of the match. And man, you can see the tension, or you can feel the tension already as these two just start going at it with one another and just beating the hell out of each other. And they did it with 6 ladders. Yes, I actually kept track of this. It was 6 ladders. Although really it should be 5.5 because it was only 5 full-size ladders and 1 small ladder, which I kind of thought was funny to see in the match. And there were points in this match that were just really, really brutal, but still really fun to watch because, you know, it's wrestling. It's going to be that way sometimes. And there was at one point where I think Kevin Owens hit a brainbuster on Cody Rhodes, and Cody was out cold. Like, I was sitting up there like, holy shit, Kevin Owens just committed murder. What in the world? Like, did I really just see Kevin Owens commit murder? Because I thought Cody was dead. Because he's not moving. And Kevin is just biding his time, waiting to climb up the ladder. And it's like, Kevin, climb the ladder now and you'll take the title. But Cody is still just out cold and motionless. And it was just crazy. And then the way this match finished, like before we even get to that, you have Nick Aldis, the SmackDown general manager, coming out, trying to stop the match. And that's kind of what I thought he was trying to do, because it looked like for a second the match was going to get called off, and they were going to have to just say that Cody was still the champion and all that, which that would have been a disappointing ending, and people would not have been happy with that. Is just what I'm going to say there. And then you also have, towards the finish there, you have Cody basically on this ladder bridge. He's got Kevin up, and he just puts him right through the ladder with an Alabama slam. And Kevin just folds like an accordion, and it's just a crazy sequence. And I was like, did I just witness Cody Rhodes commit murder? Like, man, this match, it was really good, but it was really brutal because Kevin Owens was actually busted open in this match. And that was just really crazy to see there because it is something that you don't really see much of in WWE. You see it in a lot of other companies, but for years, for WWE, it was like a big no-no to bleed or to get busted open like that. But then you see Kevin Owens do it, and it's like, oh my goodness, they're actually bleeding in the match. This is insane. Anyways, what an incredible match. Cody retains the titles. And I don't know where to really go from here at this point. But what a match by both. Kevin and Cody, they threw everything at each other. And I guess this is really the end of that feud because, like I said, I don't know where you really go from here or who really challenges Cody Rhodes for his title at WrestleMania or the Elimination Chamber. If they actually have him defend it at the Elimination Chamber, because they kind of have this thing where they like to keep the champions off this show to keep them healthy for WrestleMania. As aggravating as that sounds. But I kind of get it in some ways. Alright, moving on to our final match of the night. We had the men's Royal Rumble match. And we started off with Rey Mysterio and Penta. And it's funny, I see Rey get in the ring, and then I see the graphics for Penta, and I was like, no way. No way. Are they actually doing this? Because what I thought was it would be Dom Mysterio and Rey Mysterio starting the Rumble match. But then when I saw Penta, it's like, this is crazy, man. Now we got Rey Mysterio and Penta going one-on-one in the Royal Rumble match. This is awesome. And man, they did a great job of starting off the match, you know? Like, they just went out there, gave everything they had. The crowd was loving it. And people were just hyped for that. Like I said, I'm not going to go over the entire match here, but also I'm going to go over some of my favorite entrants. And it's funny, when the countdown clock was counting down, I said his name and he appeared. Because I was sitting there like, is this going to be Joe Hendry? And that place just erupted. Like, you've got people saying, I believe in Joe Hendry. I believe in Joe Hendry. And it was just fun, man, to see that. You know, because wrestling fans, they can be rowdy, but they can also be a hell of a lot of fun. And this crowd was definitely a lot of fun. And Joe went out there and he had a good performance. They really made him look strong too, because you had Roman Reigns spearing him a few times and just really making him look strong. Because the fact that they have him working with Roman Reigns really shows how much the company respects Joe Hendry and what he's doing in TNA. And what he did with the whole NX TNA thing before it was them signing that agreement. So now it's official that NXT and TNA will basically have their stars, or NXT stars can show up in TNA, TNA stars can show up in NXT, which is really cool. You know, because we would see this a few times last year and be like, wow, this is insane. But now it's like, it'll still be insane and have that, and I think still have that special feeling to it, but now it's like we're going to get to see this, and it's really awesome. I gotta admit, I also like the stuff with iShow Speed, because, you know, I don't really know much about the guy, other than he's just a YouTuber and he does all this insane stuff. And so he was invited by Triple H on his live stream to the Royal Rumble to be able to stream, to be able to have access with superstars. And then we get this really funny moment. Akira Tozawa is trying to make his entrance. Carmelo Hayes attacks him and he's out cold. And you see Triple H in the background going, "Speed, speed." And I Show Speed makes his entrance into the Rumble. And it was just hilarious. And he makes his way in, and then he sees Braun Breaker. And then Braun, just like a car crash, bam, a spear. Bam, another spear. Bam, another spear. And man, I Show Speed, he really took his lickings in this match. But shout out to him, hats off to him for going through with all that and just looking good in that match. And also getting a crowd reaction too, because sometimes YouTubers enter the Royal Rumble and people don't react because it's like, who is this person? Like, that's just kind of how it goes sometimes. And then we got a really cool moment as well. We had John Cena, Roman Reigns, and CM Punk all in the ring at the same time, you know? And that was just insane because look at all the history between those three guys. Cena and Punk, their historic rivalry. Reigns and Cena, they had a good rivalry too. Or at least it was the one match at SummerSlam 2021, I believe. Like, you know, just all the history there. And then the possibility of getting Reigns versus CM Punk. Possible that we see that at some point. I mean, I think we will. Just because they're both Paul Heyman guys. I'm sorry, Paul, but eventually you're going to have to choose. You can't be both, you know? Eventually one of them is going to make you choose. It's going to happen sooner rather than later. Probably. And man, the pop John Cena got when he made his entrance, that was pretty cool. Because you've got people singing, people dancing, people doing the "you can't see me." Like, it was just pretty fun seeing that. And I also got to hear this chant that I've heard on TV so many times with John Cena. "Let's go Cena, Cena sucks. Let's go Cena, Cena sucks." Like, man, that crowd was just energetic. You know, they were hyped and they were having fun. And you know, that chant is just really cool to experience. Like, that was awesome. And then we also got another cool thing too. When AJ Styles made his entrance, they gave him his good theme song back and his good pyro sequence back. Because this annoyed me when I was at SmackDown in Cincinnati. That they gave him a new theme song and they gave him a pyro sequence that was not him at all. It's like I was sitting there for that contract signing between AJ and Cody. AJ makes his entrance and I was like, I think this is AJ Styles, right? Or am I wrong about this? No, there's AJ Styles. Okay, I guess it's AJ Styles. But yeah, that's just kind of the feeling that I had towards that theme song and that pyro sequence, because it just wasn't him. And then when you hear "they don't want none, they don't want none," I was scared because they don't really want none. You know who it is. You know that it's AJ Styles. You know it's the Phenomenal One. And you're in for something really cool. You know, like, that's just kind of what I'm getting at there with that. Sami Zayn also got a really good pop too. And I didn't know if he was going to be in the match because it looked like he went to the hospital with Kevin Owens after the ladder match with Cody. You know, and Sami, he did a really good job of selling that moment too, because you can see this man is clearly upset at what happened because he's friends with Cody. Kevin Owens is like a brother to him because they travel the roads together in pro wrestling, especially on the indie scene. And seeing that had to have been hard. But he did a really good job of selling that. You know, so hats off to him. He did a really nice job there. He did a really good job in the Rumble match. Like, one of my picks to possibly win this was Sami Zayn, because it's like, it's a very interesting possibility that he could win this match. Because him and Gunther have history from WrestleMania 40. And it's like, could he be the one to dethrone Gunther again? Because he beat him for the Intercontinental title. Is it possible he does it again at WrestleMania for the World Heavyweight Championship? Now, obviously, that didn't happen, but hey, it is what it is there. And then we get to entrant number 30. And I was just sitting there like, number 30 is usually a big surprise, usually a surprise return or somebody entering the match that you wouldn't think would enter the match. And guess who it was? Logan Paul. And I was sitting there like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, seriously, this is the 30th entrance spot into the Royal Rumble match, and you wasted on this clown? This guy who, I get it, he's put in a lot of work trying to get better in WWE. Like, he's had a lot of great matches already as a part of the company. But I despise this guy so much. I got 3 words for you for why I do. Japanese suicide forest. If you don't know what I'm talking about, look it up, and you will absolutely hate this guy for what he did there. And I get it was a long time ago, people are willing to forgive and forget, but no, man, this is where I draw the line. Absolutely not. I have no forgiveness in my heart for Logan Paul for that. That was just bad. Really bad on his part for doing that. Him and his fucking brother, the boxer Jake Paul. The guy that tried to fight a fucking elderly Mike Tyson. Ugh. What is wrong with that family? Like, honestly. Anyways, in a shocking turn of events, Logan Paul eliminates CM Punk. And man, people were not happy about this. It was just hilarious seeing that. Because people were like, are you serious? Logan Paul just eliminated CM Punk. Like, people were not happy about this. And I was sitting there like, it's deserved. Those boos are completely deserved. Because CM Punk could have been one of the guys to win this match. And he gets eliminated by Logan fucking Paul. You see my facial expression there. Anyways. Eventually, it comes down to 2. Jey Uso and John Cena. I did not see this coming at all. Like, I thought it would have been Punk and Cena, and it would be Punk throwing Cena over the top rope. But no, in a shocking turn of events, we're down to Jey Uso and John Cena, the final 2 in the match. And they have a very nice sequence, from what I could see. Like, people were reacting to this, and people were like, wow, Jay's actually made it this far. I mean, it's just pretty crazy, at least to me in a lot of ways, that here he is, this guy who was known as a tag team guy with his brother Jimmy. And a lot of people thought he'd only be known as a tag team guy for his career. But the guy proved us all wrong, and he rebuilt himself as main event Jey Uso. And he's done a really nice job with this. He won the Intercontinental title, and he got himself over with one 4-letter word. Yeet. Like, you go to Monday Night Raw, you will hear people going, yeet, every time he makes his entrance, and you will see people doing this, which is known as the yeet dance, apparently. Well, not officially, but at least that's what I call it, the yeet dance. Anyway, so we're down to Cena and Jey Uso. They're both teetering on the ring apron. John Cena almost about to fall. You can feel people, or you can see people going, no, 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 no. Like, Cena was about to fall and be eliminated from the match. But then he somehow gets back in the ring. And then Jey gets him over again. Then I forget how he eliminated him. I think it was a clothesline. Or no, wait. Jey pushes Cena off the ring apron. Cena's feet hit the floor. Jey Uso wins the Royal Rumble. And you could almost feel the air just die in that place for a few minutes because people were just genuinely shocked. Like, oh my God, John Cena lost. Like, people were shocked for a few minutes. I was sitting and I was kind of standing there like, oh no, how is this going to end? Are people going to be happy or are people going to be mad at this? And after that few minutes of silence, you see Cena and Jey having a moment in the ring where Cena raises Jey's arm, putting the guy over because that's the kind of guy John Cena is. So respect to you for that, John Cena. And then you see people doing the Yeet dance and going and sing along to Jey's theme. Like, that's just really cool. You know, like, as much as sometimes I may not be the biggest fan of his, and I may think that the word yeet is the stupidest fucking word that is not in the English dictionary sometimes, I'm happy for the guy. Because, like I said, he was a tag team guy with Jimmy. But then Jimmy betrayed him for Roman in the Bloodline saga. And Jey had to reinvent himself. He had to go out on his own and do something that he'd never done. And, you know, he did it. He did. So, Jey, congrats to you, man. You deserve it. You absolutely deserve it. And for one episode only, Jey Uso wins the Royal Rumble. Yeet. There, I said it. You happy, internet? Anyways, I gotta admit, guys, I woke up the next morning and it felt like it was all a dream. Like, I never imagined that I'd be there for the first big wrestling event at Lucas Oil Stadium. Like, that was just amazing. You know, I mean, it was just awesome to get to see that. And to see Charlotte Flair make her return and win the Rumble. Like I said, I get it. There are some people that are mad about that, and it's good reasoning for why, but to me, that was everything, and that was awesome. And just seeing everybody just go all out and the crowd just absolutely have a great time. Like, you know, that was just awesome. Because, like I said, I've been a fan of the Indianapolis Colts, and, you know, it was just really cool to get to see that again, to get to see people cheering, people booing, people wooing, people singing Cody's theme, people singing CM Punk's theme, people singing Jey Uso's theme, people singing Joe Hendry's theme. Like, that was just fun, man. It was just a fun show. And it was just really awesome that my first WWE PLE was taking place in a house of many great memories for me and for my family. And speaking of my family, I have the best family in the world because it really, really meant a lot to me when I saw those Royal Rumble tickets on Christmas morning. I mean, God dang, man, I promised I was not going to cry this episode. I was not going to cry on camera, but here we are. And it just really meant a lot to me, and it's one of the best Christmas gifts I've ever gotten. And I I just felt all the emotions and all the vibes in that place. Man, it was just incredible. Like, I'm never gonna forget that night because it was one of the greatest nights of my entire life. And it just really meant a lot to me. It was really cool that I got to share that with my dad too, because we've been going up there for Colts games for 15 years, and he took me to my first Colts game in 2009, and I just fell in love even more with the game of football and with the Indianapolis Colts. So to get to do that and share that love of wrestling with them was just awesome, and it really meant a lot to me in some ways. God damn, I'm getting so emotional right now, but again, man, it's like I said that one day that you dream big, someday it will happen. And for me, that was that. That night felt like a dream, and it was just everything to me, and it was just awesome. Getting to experience that in that place and see it that packed and that loud again in that building was just absolutely awesome. And I just absolutely loved it. It was just great. And I remember going to SmackDown in Cincinnati, and that was really cool. But this absolutely topped it in so many ways because the matches were amazing. We had so many amazing moments, a lot of great returns and surprise appearances, normal matches. Like this was just awesome, you know, and it was just so amazing in so many ways. Shout out to my family for getting me the tickets for Christmas. That was just really cool, and it really meant a lot to me. And overall, I'd say it was a really good show, because everybody brought it, and that's what you really want to see in a match or in a PLE is just everybody bring their best and just go out there and put on a great show. Everybody did that. Oh yeah, and a quick short story. So I actually did go to the shop at the convention center, and as soon as we got in there, like you could see the place was packed already. I was looking around for shirts, and I could not find anything in an extra large. I was just like, wow, that's crazy. But obviously, they did a lot of great business that weekend, so that's good for them. And that's just great to see as well. I actually did wind up getting a couple things off the online shop. This is why I'm so grateful for that too, is I can go on the online shop, find a couple things. I got this Charlotte Flair shirt for Royal Rumble win shirt. Unfortunately, I don't have it with me now. As you can see, I've got my LAFD shirt on, which I'm going to explain what that's all about in just a few minutes. I also bought this really cool Royal Rumble sweatshirt. So hopefully in the next episode, I get to wear one of those on camera for you guys, because I think these are both just really cool. And just a really awesome way to remember my first WWE PLE in my home away from home of Indianapolis, Indiana. I love that place so much. And before I go, I want to just kind of talk about this LAFD shirt. So, the wildfires that are going on in Los Angeles. Well, I was watching the Rams against the Eagles in the divisional round of the playoffs. And I see the Rams coaches and players wearing this on the sideline as sweatshirts, t-shirts. I think I saw beanie hats too. And I was like, I wonder if I could get that. So I look on Fanatics, And there it is, the LAFD shirt. And I was like, that's really cool. But then I went back and looked to see if it was like a way to donate to the Red Cross and the Los Angeles Fire Department, and it is. So I bought one because I've got family that lives in San Diego, and I've got family that live all around California, like that kind of hit close to home there because I've been thinking about them and just hoping that they're okay. And I can't imagine what everyone is going through over there with you've lost your homes, you might have lost family members. Like, it just breaks my heart to see that because California, it's a really cool place to visit. And like I said, I've got family there that I've been thinking about and hoping that they're doing okay and that the damages weren't too bad with the wildfires. So a way you can donate to the Red Cross and the LA Fire Department is purchasing one of these t-shirts. So I encourage you, go on the Fanatics website, go on the NFL Shop website. If I can find the link, I'll put it in the video description for this because I think it's a good cause. And let's help those in need in California. Help them try to recover after these unfortunate events. Like I said, it just breaks my heart to hear about this and to see all the devastation in Los Angeles from these wildfires. Anyways, I think that's all the time and all the tea we have here on What's the Tea. I've been your host as always, at OwenMan316. You guys have been my lovely audience. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this. Like, I gotta admit, I was pretty nervous doing my first YouTube video. But honestly, I think I did a pretty decent job. Let me know in the comments what you think of this and what more do you want to see out of this. Like, I kind of treated this like it was the first Raw on Netflix, but we'll be back to our regularly scheduled programming here with going over Raw, SmackDown, and what else is going on in pro wrestling as well, and with sports and entertainment. So, this was just kind of like a first big show to say, hello, YouTube, or sorry, it's me. Hi, it's me, YouTube, it's me. And I'm here to do the show and drink tea. I'm sure all my Swifties out there know exactly what I just referenced there, but I thought that'd be kind of a fun thing to add in there. Anyways, I hope you guys have a great rest of your week, or have a great week, have a great rest of your weekend. In terms of the Super Bowl, I'm not picking the fucking Chiefs. I cannot. I do not want to see the Kansas City Chiefs complete this three-peat because it will just be bad for the league, Because people are so tired of Patrick Mahomes. People are so tired of the Kansas City Chiefs just winning because of ref ball and everything. And it's bad for the league, Like, I used to think Patrick Mahomes was a great player and all that, but then I saw how much of a crybaby he is on the sideline. When he gets a call, it doesn't go his way. I get it, he has that competitive fire and all that, but listen, yes, Tom Brady did that too, and maybe Peyton sometimes. But I just don't understand why you would do that in that situation. Because he did it a couple times and he lost my respect for that. Because, like I said, I get it. You've got that competitive fire and you want to win and all that. But don't act like a jackass on TV. Seriously. And then just the way the Chiefs absolutely screwed the Bills is just crazy. And I'll get in depth on that at some point. But my pick is the Philadelphia Eagles. Because, I see this Philly team and I see a team that can beat Kansas City. Because I remember when they played them the first time in the Super Bowl, Miles Sanders was giving them fits, you know, and he had a great season for Philly. He was a big part of why they were up by so much at halftime. And then the way they let off the gas in the second half by not really relying on him as much is still something I look at and go, that was working and you didn't rely on it anymore? Like, come on. Hopefully this time they don't make the same mistake with Saquon Barkley. Because he's been tearing up the league and he's been having a great season. Hell, he came up 101 yards short of breaking Eric Dickerson's record for the most rushing yards in a season. He was very close. And then he got told that he wasn't going to play against the Giants in Week 18. That still kind of aggravates me because it would have been kind of cool to actually see him break the record. Because it would have been very simple with how bad the Giants' defense was this year. Anyways, I picked Philly just because I think they're a lot better team defensively and a lot better on offense. They've got Jalen Hurts. He's doing his thing in the postseason. A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, as long as they have a good game, anything could happen. And I hear people saying that, it's going to be Kansas City screwing Philly again, thanks to ref ball. I could see it. I really could, because it's just what happens nowadays, and it's just sad for the game, and I just kind of lose my interest in the NFL with that, and just with the way the Colts organization is run. Or if you can even call it that at this point. The Colts organization. If you can even call it that at this point. Which I just call them the football team from Indianapolis at this point. But anyways, like I said, thank you guys so much. Hope you guys have a great rest of your weekend. If you are going to any Super Bowl parties, at least enjoy the food and the commercials. If the game is the way I think it'll play out, then just enjoy the food and the commercials. And just enjoy being there with your friends and just having a good time, Yeah, like I said, we'll get back into our regularly scheduled programming. We're going to talk about a couple things, going in depth on a couple things that I really want to talk about next episode. I don't know if I'll do it on camera again here, but I might. And just to let you know, I'm not leaving Spotify. No, I'm still staying on Spotify because I like Spotify. It's a good way to get episodes out. I don't have any problems with it usually, so I am going to stay on Spotify. And they actually allow you to do video too, so I may post this video not just to YouTube, but also on Spotify. But like I said, this won't be a regular thing. It'll just kind of be for special things. Or maybe it will become a regular thing. I don't know. It just all really depends. Anyways, as I was about to say, hope you guys have a great rest of your weekend. Have a great rest of your week as well. Or have a great week as well. We got a lot of cool stuff going on in pro wrestling, going on in sports, going on in entertainment. And as always, before I go, I'll see you guys down there in the next one. But live for the very first time on camera. Peace, love, tea, pro wrestling, sports, entertainment, and honestly, whatever else we got going on in the crazy world of whatever the hell we call this. Thank you guys so much. a great one. I'm out because I'm tapped out on tea time, and that, my friends, is the tea on that.